Folks, unless you've been living under a rock, you have undoubtedly heard ad nauseum about artificial intelligence or AI. That said, there's a lot of things where AI is going to be brought into new applications and new business models. And one of those areas is going to be property management. We have the CEO of Hemlane coming out with some alpha code. Yes, folks, we are the first to see this. So that should be fun. Dana, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again.
I got to tell you, doing a recording with Alpha Code is brave. You have a lot of trust in your developers and product management team. I can tell.
That I do. It's interesting. We've had a couple of new PMs come into Hemlane, and they've said your engineers are really, really good. So that's a good sign. But yes, I just got word this morning that they wanted to test a new AI feature that they have, and so I figured, what a better way than to show the one rental at a time audience, kind of phase one of AI for property management software.
Yeah, well, why don't you kind of set it up? Where are you going to take us, and then we'll bring up the application. What's going on first with AI, you think?
Yeah, great. So I think the first thing with AI is to understand what you can use it for and what you can't use it for. And it will improve over time. So just keep that in mind, that what it is today is not what it's going to be in the future. And so the question, because fair housing is such a big hot topic, the question is, how can you use it at the first point of interaction, which is advertising your rental property. And so what you'll see here is there's a property here, and you would essentially go through these steps here, from terms of setting up the terms of the property of when it's available, how much is the monthly rent. You can choose the current rent estimate, all these different tips and tricks, but you're going to keep going through the save and next buttons here. And so the question is, how much can we put into here and fill out? Some of it can actually just be data. Like, of course, when you look at listing information here, how many bedrooms and bathrooms it has, that's public data. You might have added a bedroom that isn't in the records, and you might have to update it. But for the most part, entering that information, we actually don't consider that AI. We just consider that having access to public records and putting that in there. But where it really helps is with the description here. So this would be, one of the descriptions we have, but you can click Generate AI Description. And what we've done and what our engineers have done, now watch, this will take 20 seconds to generate. So it's thinking about what it's going to generate, and you can do up to 3 for every single property that you have. Some of the things that we have been exploring and why it's been in the works for a while, and everyone has access to this. So even if you're on a free trial, you can see it says this, and I can click Use AI, and it just tossed it all into here of exactly built here. This apartment has this timeless piece featuring architecture. What we've had to do over time with this is to train it. And so what I mean by that, Michael, is there's a creativity level with AI. Your marketing and fair housing, because of fair housing, you don't want it to be too creative, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we change that temperature associated with it to make sure that the description is actually something that you'd want. And then if you don't like that one that you used, you could just click Generate AI Description again, and just keep generating that until you find what you want to put in there. And so this helps where you don't have to think. It helps take information that we have from public records. It helps take some information that you've put into the features and stuff like that. Like, here's the next one it just generated, and I could click this Use AI Description, and you can go in here and basically fill them out. So this is basically phase one of AI. If you think about the next steps, it's helping with your communication with tenants, right? And saying, hey, it's not just about the property, it's also about the tenant experience and giving them a good experience. And that can be like, right now we have chatbots to troubleshoot repair requests, but you could imagine how those chatbots get taken over with AI actually being able to respond to de-escalate things, have tenants troubleshoot. So that can all be part of the process. And then also when a tenant says, hey, what is the process to add a pet to the lease? Or, the neighbors are too loud, what do I do? You can have AI help with that. What we're doing is helping train the AI model that we have because of that creativity and what's going on. And so the engineers have been working on this. I mean, we've been talking about it for a year, but they've been working on what they have here and understanding creativity and how much of it do you want versus what is too much and is just actually false information for the marketing. And you start with this, you can review it. And then the next step is to go to the tenants and use AI to help with your tenant communications. So this is basically phase one. It's not live. So if you're in the product today, you won't see it. You will hopefully see it at the end of this week, if not next week, as they go through and do kind of final tests on it and make sure it works appropriately.
Yeah, I think this is fascinating. This is going right where, frankly, AI should be used. Writing is not a gift lots of us have. So, putting in basic statistics or information and then allowing, basically a writing tool to help you is genius. And then, yeah, the next step, kind of de-escalating or having that communication between you and the tenant, makes total sense to me. It is really interesting to just see how fast you and the team in Hemlane could do this, because I feels like it was 2 or 3 weeks ago you brought us something to help with evictions, and now you're bringing us artificial intelligence. So pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's really good. We try to balance that, right? You want a big enough team that can execute on a lot, but you want a small enough team where they're ample enough that they're working close together. So you don't have 50 people in a meeting, right? You have the 4 to 6 people who are the DRIs. So we've been working hard on that. But yeah, it is one of those things. All of this, like transportation is a breeze and all of this, you have to be really careful what you say in marketing, because you can't say like great family neighborhood. That's a fair housing violation. And so certain things like that and training it's been really exciting to see what the product team has been doing with that. And they've been working with our leasing team to have training of fair housing to make sure that what they're providing is accurate from that perspective.
Very, very cool. Or if somebody wanted to get a trial of Hemlane, where are we sending them?
Yeah, you can go to www.hemlane.com. Click try for free. You do get a 14-day free trial, and then do mention one rental at a time, because you do get 20% off your first year.
Folks, yeah, lots of folks in the one rental at a time community are looking at and are using Hemlane. Might as well use the discount. It is there for you. Dana, thank you so much. It's pretty cool seeing what you're doing with artificial intelligence.
Cool. Thanks for having me.